You know, this car might smell bad. It might leak water when it rains. And it might make funny sounds every 5 minutes. But there is something this car does quite well, and that's fuel economy, which is good because today we're going to be driving 250 kilometers to Niigata Prefecture. Okay, so where have I been? What have I been up to? Well, that's pretty easy to answer. I've been playing a lot of video games. Dwarf Fortress is a game that came out in like 2006, but it had a Steam revamp a couple of years ago, and honestly, it's so much fun. I'm having a great time playing that. And then recently, the Oblivion remaster just kind of blindsided me, and I never really finished Skyrim, but I remember having a good time with it, so I've been playing Oblivion, and I must say, I don't think it's a great game. I think it's fine. It's kind of like the McDonald's of video games, as I said when having this discussion with my friend the other day. But I'm having a good time. A lot of kind of mindless fun. I'm actually reading books in the game, which is very strange for me. Now, this is a period of time in Japan called Golden Week, where they have something like 4 national holidays all within the space of a week. The first one was on Tuesday, then today, Saturday, tomorrow, Sunday, and then Monday. But the way that national holidays work is if they land on a Saturday, it's just on a Saturday. But if they land on a Sunday, they move it to the Monday. Because there's already a national holiday on Monday, they've had to move it to Tuesday. So actually at the moment it's a 4-day weekend. And so if you took maybe sort of 3 days off earlier in the week, you'd have a pretty long period of time off from work. What that means, though, is that lots of Japanese people have time off. So if you want to pick a time to not come to Japan, I recommend to not come during Golden Week. I first stopped off at a place called Roadside Station Kagami in Niigata Prefecture. This was near to where I was going and was on the way. I needed to go here because, frankly, I was hungry and also needed the toilet. As you can see, there was something of a friendly atmosphere. There was lots of people eating various different types of food from small counters, and it was a very, very beautiful day. On a different note, there was also a foot bath, which I couldn't use. Burger quest has been completed, and here is the final result. You'll notice it has a piece of tomato the size of my head. The bacon is an interesting choice. I'm not sure that looks like what I would describe as bacon, or even what an American would describe as bacon. There is some green stuff in there, which is fair enough. I think this is going to be quite hard to make, but they have these fun little, like, plastic devices for eating burgers, which actually keeps your hands clean, which is actually quite good. Now, I've been craving burgers since I went to Tokyo the other day, because the one that I had was incredibly good, but I didn't take my camera with me. And I was meeting a friend, so it just felt wrong to kind of film that. But I decided that at some point this weekend I would go on a burger quest, and I did not think that would be today, but it just so happens that they've got this kind of, I don't know, event on. Lots of little stores around the edges, but they look kind of permanent, so I think maybe they are always open or open on weekends or something. But I am very excited to eat this burger. I'm craving another burger, actually. So I might have to go on a second burger quest. Or make a burger. Maybe I'll make a burger. Now I'm in a place called Yakiho, I think, and as you can see, the cherry blossoms are kind of dying now, and what's left behind is this beautiful combination of greens, sort of Japanese evergreens, these cedar trees, and then the other trees that have been bare all winter are finally growing back, and you get this incredible sort of camouflage-like pattern. And I think I prefer it to the sakura trees, to be honest. That's partially because I just like the colour green, and probably partially because it just feels more natural in a way. It's not natural, but it feels natural. Everywhere has a mascot. Okay, so we're in like a little village. Machiaraki. There's a map here. I'm going to go to a shrine in a minute. There's some stores. There's a foot bath. Unfortunately, at the moment, I can't use the foot bath because, as per usual, the other day I ripped all the skin off my foot in karate practice, which was a foolish decision. So it's wrapped up now, and I'm hoping it heals up in the next couple of weeks because I need that foot, and I would like to use it. Now, there was an ice cream place at the last place where I had the burger, and I just completely forgot to actually get anything from it. So this little village has some things that I might actually want to try. Maybe a bubble tea. The spelling on these sometimes. Let's see. Milk fruits chocolate. This is gonna do wonders for my stomach for sure. It's very sunny outside. The thing I love about tapioca is the way it feels when you drink it. It's just fun. It's a fun drink. And, you know, I know it's becoming more popular in the UK, but there's a lot of tapioca places over here. I suppose it did originate in, South Korea? This syrup is very sweet, though. Getting here. So, this is Niigata Prefecture. It took about 3.5 hours to use the highway to get to here. And it cost 4,000 yen to use the highway. Now, considering it was 250 kilometers and fuel, this is a fuel-efficient car, but that's still probably, 12 pounds of fuel, maybe 2,000 yen of fuel, plus 4,000 yen just to use the highway. And parts of the highway were slowed down, so often it didn't feel that worth it. Although in terms of driving, everyone speeds anyway. So just be aware of that. I don't speed. Of course I don't do that. That would be a crime. I don't commit crimes. It does really put into perspective the cost of traveling. If I didn't take the car, then I'd have to take a train or a bus. And that would probably cost maybe less or more. I don't actually know. I don't use the train very often because I live so far away, and getting to the nearest city cost me 1,000 yen just to get there. Then I got to get back, which is another 1,000 yen, and that's just to get to the next train station that I would need to take to go anywhere. Plus, had I not used the car, I wouldn't have been able to stop at the Michinoeki. I wouldn't have had that burger. So I think the car is the way forward, but it takes so long. Driving in Japan is so slow. Even on the highway, it's 100 kilometers an hour for the most part, which is 66 miles an hour. So it's not even as fast as the British motorway, which I'm going to remind you is free to use, unlike Japan's highways. The other day I went to Tokyo, and I was dropping a friend off at the airport, and it was just constant tolls everywhere. That'll be another 1,500 yen, another 1,500 yen. Here you are. And if, heaven forbid you make a mistake and come off the toll road at the wrong time. I don't make mistakes, except for that one. I get the feeling this is a very peaceful place to live. Just walked past a restaurant which had a line of about 10 people outside, which is pretty typical of Japan. Purify sin and dirty. Yahiko Shrine, 1044 AD. Wow. And there's a big tree. The Big Zelkova. Whatever that means. honestly couldn't tell if that was a baby or like some weird yokai abomination. What is making that noise? Sounds like a creaking door. Size of that tree. Whoa. Could have been that cockerel. What is that? Oh, wow, a bird. Help me out, Underfoot Japan. Which bird is this? I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the moss, kind of grassy floor. That shade of green is lovely. Whoa. I think there's a woodpecker somewhere. I don't know where it is, but am I allowed to walk down here? I think. Maybe. I'm going to. There wasn't any signs. Oh, this is very cool. I'm going back up. I'm scared I'm in the wrong place. What is this? Is there a sign anywhere? Maybe it's a sumo ring. Because it's raised from the floor. And I think sumo is important in Shinto. That's why they throw the salt over their shoulders, because it's actually part of their religion. Like, sumo was the first sport, maybe, that was given to humans by the gods. I'm gonna have to check that. Don't quote me on that. Big rock. Oh, it's a deer. Something worth bearing in mind. Deer live in Nammoku. In fact, I can hear them almost every night recently, and if I drive home when it's dark, chances are there will be deer on the path, on the road somewhere. So you really got to watch out for them. Because the term deer in headlights, it's not an exaggeration. They just stop. They don't do anything. It's like a fright response, right? Fight, flight response. And they choose fright every time. But these guys, I don't think these are like the Nara deer that bow to you. I think that's a bit of an exception for the local area down in Nara. Oh, hold on, I gotta wash my hands. fantastic. Oh my goodness, bonsai tree displays. They're like miniature forests. Yeah, this feels like a bonsai tree to me. This less so, but it's just a normal tree in miniature. That's amazing. What a fascinating bonsai tree. It's like built around a rock. That's a rock. Amazing. Also, look at that one. You probably can't see it, but there's a horse in there. Not a real horse. Like a fake horse. Made of wood, probably. Nobody else is walking this way, and I'm a little concerned that that's because I'm not allowed to be here. But again, there were no signs. In fact, hold on, there was a sign. Let me check what the sign says. I think it's fine. I'm gonna leave. What a green tree. And a lovely little side street shrine. Sado Island. Over there. I reckon you can get like a boat out there or something. This beautiful segmented reflection of the sky is the rice paddies, all full of water and being prepared, and they stretch out as far as the mountains. And then you can see in the distance the mountain tops still have snow on them, and then the clouds almost look like mountains in the sky. What a beautiful sight. Why is it always stairs? Every time, stairs, stairs. My knees hurt. I'm almost 50. Don't worry. Through the power of burger, I will make it. I'm not tired at all. The Japanese coast. Going west, I want to say. Ice cream with a view. And once again, you get to watch me eat ice cream weirdly. I sure do hope the other members of the cable car don't mind when I make the return journey and inevitably have a terribly upset stomach. Oh god, there's bugs here. There's bugs everywhere. It's too warm. There's bugs. Okay, I'm done. I'm going home because it is 3 hours and it's what, like 3 p.m. So it'll be 6 by the time I get back. have a little bit of Oblivion Remastered time. Maybe go to the store and buy some mincemeat and buns. Make my own burger. The perfect burger. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sold on any idea at the moment. I did buy some interesting sweets from a local store. These are shaped like fish. Not sure why. And then I got some fish marshmallows. Very fun. Oh god, it's warm. Right, through the power of video editing, this is going to take about 5 seconds. Hello folks, it is the next day and I've got my marshmallow fish. Seems like they've got like a little strip of gold on them, little eyeball, and they are very soft. It's a little more dense than a marshmallow I'm used to, and the flavour just is a very strong flavour of absolutely nothing. I have high hopes for these sugary fish. Made of like a jelly. Also tastes of nothing except sugar. Well, wash that all down with a lovely cup of Yorkshire tea.